Expensive products are important, but that is not the only important thing. But the look will differ because the product's quality is not up to the mark.
So there's always this dilemma where you quote less money, they'll judge your work. When you quote more,
They'll say you're not affordable.
when this makeup artist had 100k followers, the makeup was so cakey. Naturally, she'll be looking very nice. The face itself was changed.
Just by seeing an Instagram or social media, you can't vouch for anybody's work.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Figuring Fashion. Our guest for today's show is Aditya Srinivasan. Aditya and Gobinath are makeup artists of our team Madbox Studios, and they also take care of social media and production respectively for this podcast. We've discussed topics like, are expensive products really necessary to bring the best output in makeup, difference between a fashion makeup and a bridal makeover, celebrity endorsed makeup products versus traditional makeup brands, and how someone should choose their makeup institute if they want to learn makeup. Please do subscribe to our channel because the more you subscribe to us, the better the guests will be able to bring to the show. Enjoy the show. So I want to know, how did you start your makeup career? How did you get into makeup?
Myself and my boyfriend, we started looking into the options where I can go and study. I was stuck in deciding whether I should go and assist somebody who is already in the industry or should I go to a proper
That's the common
academy.
thing everyone will get. Even for
Yeah.
photography also, people will be like, whether I should assist someone or whether I should go to a
Exactly.
professional institute and study. Yeah.
At least now, I would say we have a lot of people or a lot of things in Google that will guide us to do something that we can do now. But then there were not much people who went into creative field, right? So all my circles were in IT only, and if I go and ask them, I'm planning to do makeup, they'll say, why would you want to quit a job that is paying you,
Paying
and
you
why would you
monthly,
want to get
yeah.
into something where you don't know you will get paid or not? So then through my boyfriend's contact, I came to know about this person, Makeup Ibrahim. I think many people know about
Yeah.
him. So he was in the industry, and he was working for TVCs, many things he was there. So what we thought was like, let's just try to contact him and ask if I can assist him or if he can teach me. I started approaching him, and people generally don't tend to respond you that easily,
Yes, yes,
because
yes, yeah.
they'll be afraid of who's reaching you suddenly and everything. But he was very sure that he's not going to be teaching makeup.
Okay.
And he also told me that I'm not looking for anybody to assist, and since you're new to the field, you can't assist me. I lightly have to teach.
Okay.
So he was not ready to teach. He was like, he
But he told
completely.
it in a polite way. He told it.
Yeah. He was very polite and nothing was rude. He was so clear on what he wants to do because he was so jam packed with lot of work. So he did not ideally have the time to teach, and he did not have it in mind as well. So and then we did not look for any other options. So then we started looking into where we can learn. And I don't think Chennai had that many institutes initially
In
when
2017 or 18.
2019 this was.
Okay.
2019, I don't think very few people had. The syllabus that they had was very less.
Okay.
So what my plan was like, if I am going to learn something, I want to learn every aspect of it. So based on which I can decide which, if I want to do bridal or fashion or SFX. So I
So
want
basically, you wanted to learn all genres of makeup so that later you can decide it on.
at least a basic idea.
Correct.
Because only then we'll know which interests us more, and only then I think we can decide. So that's when we found this academy called BHI in
Okay.
Mumbai.
Okay.
So there was one other academy that we saw. It was Fat Mu, I think. So out of these two, we chose BHI,
Okay.
and that's where my makeup career
Why did you
actually
choose
started.
BHI?
I think there was some difference in the syllabus, I believe.
Okay.
They had a very big syllabus actually. So for anybody who doesn't know makeup, and if you see something that you're being taught so much, I think that will initially give you the interest and a trust to go to a particular place, right?
So you got the trust from BHI.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the website and everything was nice. So we just inquired about it, and it was a 1.5 months. So even though they don't teach you completely, maybe you can go and question them, because you can tell them, I'm interested in this particular topic. Would you be able to brainstorm me with some more ideas of
Okay.
it? So when they
And they're
have,
happy to do that, and they'll
yeah,
help
yeah.
you in whatever direction which you want
Yes,
to go.
there are a lot of mentors there. So it was a very nice place to learn. And one more thing was like, here you don't have a long duration of course.
Okay.
I don't think you can learn it in 10 days. You will know
10 days
the
is
idea
more
of it.
shorter, and if it's 1 year, it's more longer, I guess.
Yeah,
So
it's too long
too
actually,
long.
1 year.
Yeah.
So within a short span,
So
you can
how many days was this? It was for
1.5 months. It's 48 days, I
oh
think.
1.5 months. Okay, okay.
45 days
Like
to 48 days.
mm-hmm.
So that is one of the main reasons also I chose it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how I came to know Gobi actually.
Okay, okay.
So that's where we found each other,
That's how we
and
also know each other.
yeah,
Uh,
through him we all
yeah, yeah.
got to know
Mm.
each other. So I think that was a
So this
good
is how you.
decision, I would say.
Mm.
And initially it was a bit difficult to convince my parents and his
Mm.
parents, because we got married, and the next week I just got married, and in a week's time we went
So while
to.
getting married only, you'll know you wanted to go to
Yeah,
BHI.
yeah.
Okay.
Because before that, we have paid everything
Okay,
actually.
okay, okay.
Actually,
Mm.
the date I had to join in BHI decided my date of marriage
Oh, really?
actually.
Okay.
Because I've
Uh,
already paid, and there was,
mm.
I think it was June 7th,
Mm, mm, mm,
where I have to join. So
mm,
we were. It was a bit chaotic for us to decide our wedding date,
mm,
because
mm,
we have to be there and we need some time before we go and everything. No,
mm.
so I think that
Okay.
decided our marriage date as well.
Okay. How was studying makeup different from back then and from now?
Then,
Like, see,
likewise,
now you told me like you didn't have any institute back then in Chennai, no? So now you
exactly.
have a lot of institutes in Chennai. So now would you advise anyone to go and study in Mumbai or in Chennai? A girl from South India.
See, I wouldn't name somebody, you go learn from them. I would never
Mm,
say that,
mm.
because every person's interest in learning something is totally different. Because I might be interested in a bridal makeup,
Okay.
someone else might be
Mm,
interested in SFX so that they can get into movies.
mm. No, I want
So,
to understand the stereotype of why people are thinking that if it is makeup, I want to go and learn in Mumbai. So is
I
it something like that, or
no,
now the
I wouldn't
stereotype
call
has
it
been broken?
stereotype,
Okay.
because back then
Mm.
Mumbai had a lot of options,
Mhm, mm.
because they gave you a syllabus. See, when you don't know anything, when someone tells you there is so much to learn, we are giving you everything to learn. So ideally, you will go trust them, right? So
Mm,
I
mm.
think that is the thing. I wouldn't call it stereotyping,
Okay.
because Mumbai had a lot of options.
Mm.
Even now, people think Mumbai is a better place for fashion and everything, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
there are a lot of people into it, and people were also genuine. Okay, so coming back to your question where you
Mm.
asked me if I would suggest somebody,
Mm.
I wouldn't say a name. I would ask anybody to do a research, because only then they will know what different options they have and how to choose somebody. You can also see a lot of student testimonials and then decide. And I would also suggest one main thing, because choose a place where there are less number of students, so
Okay,
you
okay.
will be concentrated, you will be answered for whatever you
So
ask.
that the trainer will be concentrating you on
Exactly.
more. Oh.
Based on my experience, I'm telling you, what we had learned. After learning, when me and Gopi started working, we saw a lot of challenges. So only then we were thinking, like, we could have asked all these questions there.
Mhm.
Why didn't we do that? And if all that questions came to us. So I would say, choose a place where there are less number of people, so you can ask whatever you want to ask, and you're answered in a right way. So that gives you a proper knowledge when you come outside. That's how I would say.
So I also wanted to ask one more thing. Usually, it's generally assumed that when makeup artists do makeup, they take quite a lot of time. Okay.
Mhm.
So usually my photographer friends, if I talk to them, they always tell that there are makeup artists who take 3 hours, 4 hours also. So why do you think it is the case? Why do you think makeup artists need significant amount of time to get their models or even their brides ready?
Ourselves, when we go for a bridal makeup, when they ask us how much time you need, we say 3 hours.
Okay, okay,
It's
okay. So
because
is it
it
necessary for you to have the 3 hours?
it doesn't take that much of time for us to
Okay.
put the makeup. We
Mm-hmm.
ask for that time because
Mm,
we need buffer time for our work. Okay,
mhm, mm,
so there might be people who might come late,
mm.
so that will take quite a bit of time of yours. And makeup is something where you need time so that it settles in your skin and it looks like skin itself.
Okay,
So
okay, okay.
you definitely have to give that time. It's not something like
So you can't just put the makeup and walk into the stage. You need
no,
time to settle.
that
Is
will
what you're
make a
saying.
difference. So
Mm,
if you put makeup and walk right into the stage, it'll look different.
mm-hmm.
If you walk after an hour, it'll look different.
Okay,
So
okay.
if you want people to think, oh, she's looking fresh, right? If you want people to tell that, or if you want others to say, oh, she put so much makeup on, you have to decide how you want it to
So
be
you're telling
commented.
that immediately when they walk into the stage after makeup, they it will feel like they have little heavy makeup.
Yeah, exactly. But it also depends on how the artist treats you. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't say it would take a lot of time to do makeup itself. The time is needed so that it looks very natural on your
Okay,
skin,
okay, okay.
and it would actually achieve the look what you wanted to have. So
Okay.
that's why we take time, and it also depends on see, if somebody has a problematic skin, it would take time because you have to do some preparation so that the makeup doesn't look bad on them.
Okay.
So it all depends on who you put your makeup on and what situation it is, everything. And I don't think any artist does 3 hours of makeup. Nobody
Okay,
does
okay.
that.
But I've recently have observed that you guys are finishing makeup within like 30-40 minutes, because I think I don't know why it is the case, because you guys have trained so much, or it's been your experience. Because for one shoot, I guess you just took for the Sri Lanka shoot which we did, took just 30 minutes, 35 minutes to get Preeti ready, both makeup and hair,
Yeah,
because the sun was going and you were very quick.
exactly. I would say it is the number of phases that we have worked. That is what gave us that kind of timing, quick timing actually.
Mhm.
So initially, we also took a bit of time where we take time to decide which looks good on who. Since we have worked with a lot of people now and lot of faces, now we are able to decide quickly. Okay, this foundation will work on them. This lip color would go with this dress. So we have got all this color theory into us. So it makes us decide quickly and we don't take that much of
Okay,
time.
so the two takeaways from here is like, one, you need time for the makeup to settle,
Yeah.
and second, you need to do a lot of practice and you need to work on a lot of phases so
Yes.
that you get experience and get you can put
Definitely
makeup
you
little
need
sooner.
practice. I've heard some a music director say that
Okay.
nobody is born talented. So
Okay.
if you
Mm.
want to be perfect in something, you have to keep working on
Yes,
it.
yes, that's for all the industry, I guess.
That's how
Mm.
makeup works actually. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to perfect yourself in makeup, anything, say, you have to work so many number of phases. I would say
Mm-hmm.
that was actually the mantra that was told for us in BHI.
Okay.
So keep working, working, working.
On
That's what.
different phases. See,
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
people who put makeup for themselves, so they can't explore, I guess. No, when you put makeup for different
exactly.
peoples and different faces.
Every skin is different and there are a lot of textures. Somebody might have a problematic skin. There are different tones in skin, and only then you will know what works for who. So that is
Okay,
how you
okay.
will learn. See, if you put makeup for yourself, you will learn. I wouldn't say you wouldn't learn, but still you need a lot of options to work on, right? So when I'm going to put makeup on myself continuously, I might not use so many products because I know what works for my skin. So I will not try
Correct, correct,
something that
correct.
will not work for me. So then how will you research on the products and how will you know the products?
Correct, correct, correct. So,
And actually, when we studied in the BHI, this one thing that made us work quickly right now is like we'd be working on four phases. Just as a beginner, there will be a day for your portfolio shoot, where you'll have to work on four different
yeah,
phaces,
yeah, I know.
four different looks
Mm.
for the makeup and hair. So I think
Okay, okay.
that
So
has
on
pushed
same day,
us.
you will be working on four different
Yes.
faces.
We'd be like we'd be very anxious, we'd be very angry
Mm.
and thinking why they are asking us to work on four different faces. Just now we are learning how is this possible and everything. So after we came here back to Chennai and when we started working, only then we understood. We had a shoot where we did 6 looks in a day, I believe,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I think that is what
I
made us
think
do
that
this.
wouldn't have been achieved with any other makeup artist, is what I believe.
Yeah,
Mm.
maybe if they have practiced
Yeah,
so
but
much, they'd be able to do it. It
mm.
all depends on how you treat yourself as a
No,
makeup
that
artist.
6 looks we did was 1 year after your makeup, I guess.
Yeah, I think.
It's not recently. It was long back.
Yeah, it
So it
was
was just
long back.
1 year after your makeup. So you were very fast. You guys were very fast.
That
Okay.
gives you a lot of confidence because when someone else calls you and they want to do so many things in a day, I think you can boldly say yes, yeah, I can do it because
Okay. Mm.
that I
Especially for shoots. I don't
yes.
think it will happen in bridal section, but
No, it will not happen in
okay.
bridal.
So now I want to ask you, what is the difference between a bridal makeup and a makeup for a photo shoot? So
Okay.
what is the difference in the approach of you doing bridal makeup and makeup for a
Okay.
photo shoot?
Let's start with photo shoots maybe, where
Mm.
we have models. Mostly we have models or actors with whom we work. So to them, looking after their skin is something that is related to their profession. So they'll be doing it in a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll know what a makeup artist does to them. And I don't think there will be a lot of clash in what we do and everything because
Okay. Because
it.
they've been working on.
Yeah, they've seen a lot of makeup artists. They are like this every day, right? So they do shoots every day, so they'll be seeing a lot of makeup artists and they know how to maintain their skin and what will be put into them and everything. So in that way it is easier because there are certain people who come who look who are connected to a dermatologist or who sees a dermatologist, and they would say, this works for my skin, this doesn't work for my skin, don't try a cream foundation for me, liquid doesn't work for me.
They'll only give the suggestions.
Yeah, they do have suggestions
Okay, okay,
because they
okay.
know what looks better on them since they've seen them
Hmm.
regularly on a camera. Whereas bridals, initially, now there are a lot of people who are doing a lot of research and looking what works for them, what exactly they want, and everything. Initially, it was not like that. So when we call someone for a bridal trial, we would say, we would just ask them if you are actually into skin prep and everything. Do you use a moisturizer? Do you use a sunscreen? Do you use anything for your skin? We generally ask them.
Hmm.
If not, we suggest them, at least if you have 1 month of time now, start using it right now. We do suggest them, that is common for anybody. Or if they have some skin problems and all, we definitely say them, go see a dermatologist and get something that works for your skin, so that you will have your skin already prepared, so that on your day you look more better. So the major difference there is, sometimes we'll have to convince the bridal brides who come, that because they'll have something in their mind by seeing YouTube and everything, they'll particularly want that look.
Okay, okay.
But
But you have to convince them saying that this look won't work on you, or this look you can take a different approach with this
yeah,
look.
so if we know that that is not going to work for their skin, we'll suggest them that, I would say, do not try for this, we'll go for this look, whereas it will be looking better on your skin. So that's how it majorly differs. There is
Okay, okay.
nothing much very tedious or problematic in either way.
A lot of people generally assume that if you do makeup for models and
Mm-hmm.
actors, they think that they can only this particular makeup artist can do makeup only for that models and makeup artists because their skin is
Yes.
so flawless. They think that they this particular makeup artist can't do makeup for them.
Yes, that is there
Hmm.
actually,
Hmm.
because even after seeing our profile, many of them have asked us, "Do you do bridal?"
Hmm.
Because I don't think you guys
Because
do.
see, there is one problem in this where people who are doing makeup for brides, they don't want their photos to be posted on online. Okay,
Yeah,
so they want to stay discreet. But the people who are approaching you see from seeing your profile think that you only work with models and actors,
exactly.
and they're still wondering how will you be able to put makeup for them.
We have had a lot of people questioning us on this, because they say there are no much bridal photos or videos on your page. Do you
Profile.
do really bridal? Or sometimes they even think if you are capable of doing bridal
Yeah,
and
exactly. This is
everything.
the exact question of.
No, it's not like that. So
Hmm.
makeup is same for everybody. Whatever any skin requires, that is what we are going to do. Be it an
Hmm.
actor or a celebrity or model
And not
or
necessarily
any.
all the models will have perfect skin. No.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but outside people have that perception
Hmm.
stating that everybody has a good skin, because see, they are put to makeup every day, so they will also have a lot of skin problems that they will be facing, so we might not know. So it's not that based on what your profile says, you can't decide a makeup artist can do only this and they can do only this. They can do makeup to any face. It just matters on how they carry it actually.
Hmm.
So if to us, if someone comes stating that they can't carry makeup, they're not used to makeup and all, so you have to make them feel comfortable saying that this is not something that you have to think like a celebrity or a model.
Okay. Hmm.
So we had this experience. So
Hmm.
whenever people come for a bridal trial, see, every day we do not look like big celebrities or actors, and not everybody is so much into maintaining skin and everything. So there will be certain flaws in everybody. For example, if I'm just in my nightwear, and if I go for a bridal trial, imagine that way. If I
Okay.
go put makeup in my night dress, how will I look? I will look like it's not me. That is what I would think. So this is what happened when people came for us for bridal trial. They would
Hmm.
come in a very normal dress, like just they're going to their office.
Hmm.
Then we'll do bridal trial, which is not a heavy makeup actually. We just use very little products, and it is going to be a normal
Hmm.
makeup.
Hmm.
But they feel like, no, I don't look like myself. I look very different. We started approaching it differently. What we used to do is we just used to put half face makeup and show them. Now you can see how different it is. It is not
Okay.
you're not
Okay.
an entirely
Hmm.
different person. It's just you. It's just that you're looking a bit fresh than you are usually used to.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then even then, if some people are not convinced with that, we ask them, you just bring a sari or
Super. Yeah.
something. We'll just have an entire look so you can see how it is going to look on your wedding. So when people started coming with their dresses and everything, once makeup is done, they say, I think makeup is a little bit light. No, they used to ask
Okay.
that
Okay.
questions.
So they want more makeup then now.
So then we used to say, see, this is just a trial. This is to show how your skin is going to be looking on your wedding. So definitely there will be changes on the day of your wedding, because the day of trial might be today and the wedding might be 2 months later, where the bride would be traveling here and there. They might do facials, they might take some treatments. So everything would change on the day of their wedding. So that's how we have prepped a lot of brides on
Okay.
our journey
So
actually.
your call to action is bring your bridal clothes if possible, so that you can try it on with your bridal
Yeah,
dress.
it all entirely depends on the person, because
Hmm.
someone wants to see how they look entirely.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but for someone, they just want to know if the foundation that we are using matches for them, or if
Hmm.
they're okay with it or not okay with it.
Okay.
Someone wants to come to know what products you're using and how you're going to be treating them and everything. So,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
perception of every person is totally different on the day
Hmm.
they come. So, myself and Gobi, we are so keen on calling anybody for a trial, because just by seeing our Instagram, or just by some word of mouth, you can't decide, right, that my makeup will work for you. Not everybody will be okay with it. Not
I
everybody
think
will like
every
it.
makeup artist should have a trial
Yeah,
session.
exactly.
Okay.
And I think even if you grow bigger, I think you should do it,
Okay. Okay.
because getting their trust is more important than anything,
Mm.
right? So,
Because when it comes to wedding, it's the most important day of that person's life.
exactly.
Okay, so they need to look their best, and I feel like when all the makeup artists have a trial session, it will be really helpful.
Yes, definitely. Because you
Um,
can avoid a lot of chaos on the day of
yes,
wedding,
yes,
I would
yes, yeah.
say.
Okay. So when it comes to wedding, no, our team has a guy makeup artist, as you know. Usually in fashion industry, having a boy makeup artist is widely accepted. So, but somewhere I feel like in bridal industry, if you are a guy, it's a little difficult to survive. I feel like only
Yes.
one or two people really thrive as a guy in bridal makeup industry. So, what is your opinion on that?
That is true, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a lot of people growing in makeup industry,
Mm.
but still there are a lot of people who are skeptical
When it comes
about
to,
letting a guy to do a makeup, because
so are these people from tier two, tier three cities? Are they from Chennai, Mumbai?
even from Chennai we have had a lot of people saying that oh, you have a guy, I don't want a guy to do the
Really?
makeup.
Okay.
Yeah, we have had people like that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So,
Mm.
since we work together, we say, no, this is our team. If you want us to work, this is how it will work. There were many people who have frowned upon knowing that there was a guy in the team, so
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't let them do it. I
Mm.
don't know. Maybe like they're not used to seeing a lot of men doing makeup. Actually, if you ask me, in the cinema industry or initially, only men were doing a lot of makeup.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Only now there are a lot of women doing
Mm.
makeup,
Mm.
but I think it's the families that they're not used to it, all this. Maybe in future they'll get used to it. There was one particular client of ours, we were talking for a very long time. Actually, generally more than 50% I would be the point of contact to talk to
Mm-hmm.
anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And this recommendation came from another friend who's also a makeup artist, but she's not in this city. So
Mm-hmm.
she has recommended us. So I thought the client who approached me, she knew that I and myself and Gopi are working. So we were talking, we were fixing on the dates, on what all the needs that she's looking into, and everything was there. But I don't know what I thought. I just thought of mentioning her that myself and Gopi will be coming
So
on this
usually
day,
you will
this time.
be telling all your clients that we have a guy makeup artist, or
Yes, now it has become a habit for me,
okay.
because
Mm.
somebody is not used to it,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want them to look.
Know
Look,
it on the day of the wedding.
yeah, I don't want ourselves to be embarrassed when both of us are going and standing and looking. Why is there a guy here? I don't want them to look us in that way. So
Okay,
every
okay,
time
okay.
I text them, I literally type this message. So myself, Gobinath, and there's one more assistant who will be coming with us. This is how
Okay.
I tell them, so
Super,
that
super. Okay,
so
okay.
just to make sure that they know who is coming and what is happening and
But people
everything.
may be wondering why is this even a question, but I feel like this has to be addressed because there are people who still ask like, "Are you having a guy makeup artist?" So I want to address this.
Yeah, and I would
Mm.
say there are people who don't teach guys as well, because
Oh,
Gobinath,
really?
yeah,
Okay.
Gobinath and myself have faced it. So once,
Don't teach makeup for guys.
yeah, so
Okay. Mm.
I probably don't want to name them. There
Mm-hmm.
is one particular artist in Chennai where, because after coming here and when we started working,
Okay.
what thought we had was like, let's go to some workshops or
Mm.
trainings to the other artists who are in Chennai, so we'll know how the industry is working and what we have to learn and everything. So when we approached one particular artist, when he approached, actually they say, no, sorry sir, we don't teach guys. And it was so, I couldn't explain it
Okay.
really, because it's not something that could be
So it is
taken
still
easily,
there,
right?
not letting a guy
There are
touch their
people
skin
who
or.
are still
Mm.
uh, who still frown upon a guy doing makeup.
Okay,
And
okay.
we have a lot of artists who do sari draping, men artists who do sari draping.
Raping.
And I don't think everybody takes it well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I was talking about this client.
Mm.
So initially, I was talking to her and everything. After a point, I realized that she was not aware that he's also going to be coming for the
Mm-hmm.
makeup.
Mm-hmm.
So when I just told you, right, I would send a message. When
Yes,
I
yes, yes.
sent it,
Mm.
she was like, "Oh, is there a guy who's going to be coming?" And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "After these many
The
days, you're
conversation.
asking me." And I just approached the other friend who suggested us, and I told her, and she was like, "I don't think she'll be able to take it because they think they're very orthodox and everything." And I was not able to
Okay,
respond
okay.
them.
Mm.
Then what I told, I just spoke to the client directly, saying that, see, this is our team and we both work on every project together, and I just can't simply deny him and tell him that I'm going to take this project, and I don't think it is going to work and everything. She was a bit skeptical initially, since we spoke for a long time.
And was
And
this before trial makeup or after trial makeup?
no, this person didn't come for a trial makeup because this
Okay,
was
okay.
not for wedding,
Okay,
it was
okay.
some other event in their
Mm-hmm.
family.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, the event was going to happen in another 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Since she was not able to find any other artist, me and Gopi, we discussed and said, okay, for this project, let's do it and everything. I would say I was not happy about it because, see, deciding on working alone or not when he's not here, when he's out of country, is totally a different situation, rather than leaving each other and working, because that's
Correct,
not
correct.
something that we're used to.
Mm.
So we said, okay, we didn't have any other option. We said, okay. And one day she suddenly called me and she told, it's okay. You just bring the other guy also for the makeup. I spoke to my family. I
Mm.
spoke to my husband. I spoke to my in-laws. I spoke to my mother as well. And I think everybody is okay. And I was so happy because someone is trying to take a step at least to understand this is how it works. You can't break someone's you can't break somebody like that just saying, since you're a guy, you can't come and work, right?
Correct,
So
correct,
I was
correct.
so happy when that client took one extra step for us.
And convince their entire
Yeah,
family.
convinced the entire family
Okay,
so that
okay.
we work together.
And what happened when you finished the makeup? Did they love it?
Yeah, they
Mm.
really liked it.
Mm-hmm. And did they tell anything after that?
No, they were not. It was not like
They didn't address this exact issue.
no, they
Oh.
did not address it exactly. But I thought, would there be something unwelcoming there, because I
Mm-hmm.
was a bit skeptical about it, but nothing of that sort was there.
Okay,
So
okay,
it
fine.
really ended up well there.
That's good. So coming to learning, what are your thoughts on people learning makeup from online platforms? So you guys have learned makeup through the traditional way. You went to BHI, you stood there for 8 to 9 hours and learned. Like you said, you put makeup for 4 people in a day. But there are people who are learning makeup online, and they're just getting into the industry just like that. So I feel like they wouldn't have any experience rather than putting makeup on them themselves.
Exactly.
How do you
So
see this?
I wouldn't suggest somebody who is learning online to go and work on a client directly, because that
Okay.
is not advisable, because you will not know what works for them really, how to handle certain things when you have not faced it in a real time.
Mm.
So I would generally suggest anybody who wants to learn to just go for an institute, learn.
Go physically for an
Yeah,
institute.
you have to learn something physically, and then
Mm.
upgrading yourself online is totally different.
Mm, mm, mm.
Even when you're upgrading to a third or fourth level, even then I would say don't go online. Because what happens now in online is there are a lot of people online. They don't have a certain numbers to take entries, right? So if it's going to be a physical class, at least
You are
they have,
limited by the
yeah,
space you
you are
have.
limited by a space and the equipments you're going to be providing to them. So you will have to limit it at least to an extent. But when it comes to online, it's going to be 200, 300 people. Even if you
Okay,
have a
okay. Have you
doubt,
seen classes like that?
yeah,
Really?
I have attended classes like that.
There will be 200 people online and they'll be
Exactly.
teaching.
Exactly. There'll be 200 people online.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
Mm.
I will just tell the experience that I had. We were just typing some question that I had doubt about. And before I finished my question, mine did not even pop up because there were too many people asking questions. So how will a mentor address you if you have something? And when
It
you
was like a live session. So
exactly,
okay.
if you can't even ask a question, and if nothing gets cleared, then there's no point in attending an online class, especially when it comes to makeup. When you don't see it in person, how will you know how it works for that person? Because one particular blush does not work in the same way for five different people, because their tones are different, their textures are different. So when you don't see it in person, how will you know that okay, this will work for this person? So for example, I am attending an online class, she is using one particular blush, let me say, and if I am going to buy that and use it on another person, I'm not going to get the same look that she got on the screen.
Yes, yes. Mm.
So I don't think
And one more thing I have to add, as a photographer, the lighting changes make a big difference.
exactly.
You don't even know what type of lighting they had while putting their makeup online. And when you come to your studio and when you're putting, you have to see what type of lighting you have. I feel
Yes.
like it definitely makes a difference.
So online, maybe theories you can teach. I
Okay,
don't
okay,
think anything practical can be taught online,
okay.
because it is not going to
Practical
be
session or demo
effective.
session is a no
Yeah,
for online.
maybe 60% it will be effective. That 40% is not going to be effective, because when
Mm.
I'm going to try the same technique that you're trying, I will not be able to achieve it. And after the class is over, I will not be able to reach you and ask why it is not working. Many people say you can reach us after the classes, but I don't know how responsive they'll be, because you had 300 students in your online session.
You
So
can't be
how will you
responding
be
to everyone.
addressing 300 students every time when they comes and question you? That is not practically possible. So
Okay.
I would say online you can get lessons on the theory, formulas of the foundations and everything. There are a lot of things that you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
These are
want,
theories in makeup.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
So if you want to learn something, you can learn that. But I would definitely say practical knowledge is very much important when it comes to makeup, because
Mm-hmm.
you are going to be working on somebody else's skin. You cannot damage it, because
Of course. Yeah.
you will not know what it might in how it might react to them. And if something gets wrong, you will not be in a position to say just sorry, where it
Okay,
will
okay.
not be
Mm.
accepted, right? So
Okay.
I would say go for in person classes. You can attend online classes, but make sure that that is the only method that you're using to learn the entire thing.
So when it comes to makeup, does expensive products, like what you've told, expensive products and money matters in giving a beautiful output at the end of the day?
Expensive products are important, but that is not the only important thing, because
Okay,
it's
okay.
the skill that is most important, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get a lot of cheap products as well, but you can't use them directly on a client's face, on anybody.
So I'll give you this one scenario. So there is a person A who's really experienced, but this person's vanity is filled with mid-level products. There's another person B who's not that experienced, but they're so well off they can buy the best products in the world. Whom do you think will be able to put the best makeup for the same person?
For the same person, I would say it is equal actually. So
Okay,
if you have a lot of experience, but I'm giving you a 10 rupee product,
not
will you
10 rupee,
no,
like,
no, I'm just saying an
huh,
example.
okay.
Not in makeup. I'm just giving a very local product. You will be able to achieve the makeup,
Mm,
but the look will differ lightly, because
mm,
the product's quality is not up to the mark.
mhm,
So
mm,
that in that way, product is also equally important, and experience is also equally important.
mm,
And I wouldn't say go for only expensive things. You can have mid-range products.
mm,
So you must be able to mix and match products in different
mm,
I
mm.
mean, different money values, and you must be able to work with it. Try to get products in a genuine places, so you're not worried on how your skin is going to be
Okay, okay. You are
post
telling that
session.
there are people who are selling fake products of
There are
the
a lot
expensive.
of fake products. There are a
Okay,
lot and lot of fake products,
okay,
because
okay.
this was also through a personal experience
Mm.
where I was going for a trial makeup for my wedding.
Okay, okay.
Uh, I had very less time to plan my wedding. I think it was just a month.
Mm, mm,
So I just went for this makeup artist, and she was using Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette.
mhm, mm.
Just by seeing the palette, though I'm not in the makeup industry, I was able to tell that
Because
this
you
is
were
not
about to
an.
join your makeup
Yeah,
school.
I was able to say that this was not an original product.
Really?
Exactly. After the entire trial session was completed, I just completely covered myself, and I got into a cab, because I didn't want to show my face to
Okay,
anybody. It
okay,
was
okay.
that bad.
So, are there any telltale signs to know that this product is fake?
I wouldn't say that science. Just by seeing the quality of the product, you will be able to know, because
Mm-hmm.
any good product doesn't. I would say it wouldn't look that dirty for the new box itself,
Mm.
and just by seeing the box itself, you will know it is fake or
So you are
what.
telling don't buy a product from any questionable sources. Buy
Yeah,
from on
there are a
proper
lot of
store.
people in Chennai who are importing products
Mm.
from elsewhere. So I think you must do your research before you get a product. Or if some friend of yours are coming from abroad, you can ask them to get products that are not
Mm. Mm.
available
Mm.
here.
So what percentage would you give for this expensive product, and what percentage would you give for this
Experience, you asked.
experience?
I would say experience is 70% and
Okay.
products is 30%. And to our vanity, I would say we have everything a bit expensive only because Gobi is very much into
Mm.
having a he takes too much good care of skin, and
He himself takes too
yeah,
much
he
care
himself
of.
takes good care of skin, and
Mm.
I don't think people like that would be able to do something less for
Injustice to.
someone else.
Yes, yes, yeah, I know.
So
Mm.
I think because of that, we have a very good vanity
Mm.
comparatively, I would say,
Okay.
right from the beginning.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, based on what you have asked, I have the same question to ask you.
Okay.
Do you think expensive products really matter when it comes to photography?
Okay. So when it comes to photography, I would say expensive products doesn't matter at all.
Okay.
So there are a lot other places where you can rent expensive products. So I don't think expensive product matters that much. When you go for a restaurant, okay. So will you be able to ask the chef that what utensils and what cookeries you use?
Right.
I don't think that is the case. But there are a lot other people who have asked me like what are the equipments you're using. But I don't think it's that necessary to know the equipments you use. All these fancy equipments are there, right? These helps us to achieve the same goal in a faster way.
Okay.
So let's say I'm using a Pro Photo light rather than using the Celium Chrome light.
Mhm.
If I'm using the flash continuously, I can able to use the flash without any delays.
Okay.
So if this flash will heat up, it will take some downtime. So that is the only thing. If you are a pro and if you know a workaround around this, you can get away with all the cheap products only.
Okay.
And you need to have a vision in your mind.
So, on
So
your experience, also, it's the skill that plays the first role,
no,
right? And knowing
for me
things
the
in.
same percentage would be 90-10.
Okay.
Just 10% I would attribute to the expensive products and stuff. So you need a basic things like a full frame camera, a
Okay.
proper decent light, a proper flash and all. Apart from that, I don't think you should be so keen on knowing what equipment you want, what is the brand. You definitely don't need to be a brand snob.
Yeah.
Don't different. For me till now also I don't stay by one brand.
Exactly.
I just want to work with it. I want to produce my output in an efficient way. If I have the equipment for it, that is fine.
That's how makeup also works because we
No,
can't.
see, in makeup you can't rent equipment.
Yeah, we can't rent
Here,
equipments.
if I want an FX3 camera, I can rent it. I don't necessarily need to buy it and no stuff. But I need to know what are all the things that are in this FX3 camera. I
Okay.
need to know how this camera works.
Exactly.
That is there. But apart from that, you don't necessarily need to own this stuff. But in makeup, I don't think you can
Yeah,
just.
we can't rent stuff, but
Maybe
there
you
are.
can go and trial in your stores, Sephora, I guess.
Yeah, we can trial, but there are a lot of products available, so you should be switching products. So I
I know.
think that way it works because
Switching in the sense like
trying new products, I would say,
going to
because
the store and trying new products or
yeah,
buying.
uh, many are not available in India, but you can ask somebody to get it, or some people here they provide products, imported products, and all. You
Mm-hmm.
can try different brands. Say when
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to build a vanity, don't build it with one particular product, I would say.
Okay.
So when you
If
build
you're
with
getting
different.
MAC, don't get MAC foundation, MAC concealer,
Yeah,
and MAC. Okay,
when
okay.
you try and build it with different
Mm,
brands, so you will know how everything works, and
mm,
you'll be able to decide on what is going to come to my vanity later this.
okay,
So I think that way it works.
okay. Also, I want to add one more thing. Have you seen this Apple launch events,
Hmm.
like
Yes.
Apple iPhone launch event? So if you see that these launch events are short on iPhone. So they will advertise it as this event is entirely short on iPhone. But if
Yeah.
you look at the video quality, it will be like a cinematic video quality.
Yeah.
So people will be wondering how they achieve that. So they will have a small asterisk inside, short on iPhone and asterisk. So what the asterisk means is that they will use all other sorts of other equipments to make the camera stable, to make
Okay.
the lighting stable. But the core part is they shot it on iPhone.
Yes,
And the
exactly.
brains behind the person who shot it on iPhone was an experienced cinematographer, will be an experienced
Okay.
cinematographer. So this guy knows even to do it with a 3-year-old iPhone.
Exactly.
If you give a 3-year-old iPhone also, he'll be able to bring the same quality with the help of lights, motion rigs, and stuff. So in this way, you definitely don't need an expensive equipment in terms of photography. Is
That
what I
is
would say.
true, actually. So, not just with makeup or photography, whoever is in a creative field, they are not supposed to just blindly trust only their equipments or
Hmm,
products.
hmm, hmm.
It is their skill that that is going to speak, right? So
So recently I went to a wedding, okay? This is my friend. And she is little well off. She had one of the best mandapam in the city.
mhm,
And she has invited a makeup artist to do a wedding makeup. And this makeup artist had 100K followers.
okay,
So I found two things flawed there. One thing is that when I went into the hall, I see her face. Her face itself is completely changed. Naturally, she will be looking very nice. Her face
okay,
itself was changed. Second thing is that when I went into the stage, I could observe that the makeup was so cakey.
okay.
So I thought, like, why did you do this for your wedding day? I want to ask her, but I didn't ask her. So why do you think this is the case? Because this I see that this makeup artist was an experienced person.
I would say there might be a lot of reasons for this.
Mm-hmm.
So the main problem where it starts is like people start trusting artists based on the number of followers they have on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
which can I would say so even if somebody comes and looks into my profile and if they say I love your makeup, you can come and do my makeup. I would say come for a trial
So always, always,
because
always go for a
just by
trial.
seeing an
Mm-hmm.
Instagram or social media, you can't vouch for anybody's work. So you
Mm-hmm.
can trust them for a bit, but you should know how it is going to work for you because that is not you.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have different concerns. You want your makeup to look this way. There are so many concerns that you have. So you should be ready to ask them for a trial, be it paid or not, because
And what if they are telling no for a trial?
I don't think anybody says no for trial right now because they charge that for the trial
Okay.
as well.
Mm.
And I think big art, I mean, experienced and artists that are who are there for a longer time, I think they charge a bit more for the trial
Just for the
itself.
trial.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
that is not affordable for anybody, right? Say I'm going for an artist who is experienced for 10 15 years in the industry.
Mm.
I'm seeing five such artists in Instagram, and I approach them, and if I go trial for five different people and I pay 50,000 for that itself, that is not affordable for
Do
me.
you think one more thing? Them not letting the skin breathe and them not letting the makeup to settle down, is that also one of the reason or?
That could have been the reason because they might have had less time.
Mm.
If they have been for the trial and the wedding was 1 month or few days
Mm.
later,
Mm.
skin might have changed.
Okay. Okay.
They
So
might
you are telling that skin will change.
Skin might change
Mm.
because
Mm.
see, if I go for a facial yesterday and come today, there is something different in my skin.
Okay.
It
Okay.
might get
Okay.
dry or it might get oily or there might be some rashes. Certain things doesn't
So that
set for
makeup artist
everybody
should be
well.
prepared for this also.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
To anybody who comes to us, we say if you're going to go do something, don't do it near your wedding day because
Mm-hmm.
that will entirely change your skin.
Mm.
Have some time so that you will know if something bad happens, also, you have the time to rectify it.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the makeup, for that question, for the makeup being gone wrong, there could have been any reason, but I would say for an artist like that, she shouldn't have let the bride go on stage with such makeup. So,
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that should have been the better call that she could have taken.
Okay. So there are people who look good only when they put makeup on camera. They'll be very photogenic. A lot of people
Hmm.
who look good naturally without any makeup, they'll be looking good. Okay.
Okay.
So the concern for these people is like, what if they want to tell a makeup artist that they want really subtle makeup? So these people are scared that when they go to a makeup team, they'll put a lot of makeup on them and they'll just change their face. So
Okay.
what exactly do these people need to tell these makeup artists?
So when it comes to makeup, I wouldn't say you have this rule. This
Mm,
is how you should do a makeup. You
mm,
can't say like that
mhm, mm.
because as we were talking, like everybody's skin is different, everybody's requirement is different. So if someone like that comes and if they say, "I just have baggy eyes," can you correct that?
Mhm.
You're just supposed to do that. You can't say, "No, makeup has to be like this. I will just start with a foundation. I will end with this." You can't tell them
Okay,
because
okay.
that is not what they're looking for. But
Mm,
when someone knows what look good on them and they come to you trusting that you will do it better rather than them,
mm,
you're
mm,
supposed to do only that.
mm.
Maybe you can suggest them this might add something good to your face. Can you try it? You can ask them, but I don't think you have to do the entire thing for anybody who's already having a good skin. I don't think that's required.
Okay, okay, okay. So you are telling that when this person goes to the makeup artist, they should tell only their concern and ask the makeup artist to address their concern.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Some people might not even need a foundation because they'll have such flawless skin. We have seen
okay.
models like that.
Mm, mm.
In that cases, we just
Are there any scenarios you have never touched foundation at all and just
yes,
okay,
there
okay,
are.
okay. So, what should a bride or a model do before coming to the makeup? Should they prepare their skin? So, today is their makeup session. They're
Mhm.
coming. Should they do any form of skin prep or should they just come?
If they have some routine already, they
Hmm.
can do it, but
Okay.
it is not necessary that you should do something before coming here, because we take care of all that.
Hmm.
So if it's
And how important is this preparation thing?
this is definitely important,
Hmm.
because that's where you're creating a base for your canvas that you
Okay.
can
Okay.
work on.
Hmm.
So only if you prep the skin properly based on what their skin type is and what their requirements are, whatever you do will look good on them. If you
Hmm.
don't prep the skin, and if you prep the skin wrong also, things
No,
might
you
go
might
bad.
go wrong in prepping the skin
Yeah,
also.
for example, if
Hmm.
somebody is has a very oily skin,
Hmm.
and if you're not using a good primer for them, or if you're using products that are already has oil in them, and it's going to secrete more oil on their
Hmm.
face,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
after a point of time, it is not going to look good on them. So you should know what their skin type is, and you should meet the concerns, and that's how you do the skin prep. All the models that have come here to work with us, they generally say that I think you are the guys who give so much of importance for skin prepping,
Hmm. Hmm.
because we generally use sunscreen even when we do makeup indoors also.
Oh, indoors also you will be
Yeah,
using.
because
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
be using lights and all, right?
Okay. Okay.
Certain
Okay.
people will be reactive to that also.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
So in that case, we use sunscreens
So
for
for all our shoots, you have used SPF.
mostly we use.
Okay. Okay.
As I
Okay.
said already, since Gobi is there, that all these are all checklist points for us, because
Okay. Hmm.
there should be a sunscreen of on
Without
the
sunscreen, he won't let you do makeup.
yeah, we
Okay.
use the sunscreen,
Okay.
and
Okay.
during hair preps also,
Hmm.
we make sure that we use
Heat protector for
yeah,
that.
we
Okay.
use the heat protector so that their hair is not damaged, because
Hmm.
they're constantly exposed to
Hmm.
hot tools, right? So we
Okay.
make sure that we do all of that.
So what are the beauty brands that are widely used by makeup artists nowadays?
Initially, we can say Mac.
Hmm.
Definitely, it'll be Mac. But now they're trying a lot of products, because there are a lot of things available right now.
Okay.
So, but there are people who are mostly into Mac, and now people are trying a lot of different products. So now we can't say this is the one product that everybody is only this is what something they are using. So I think
So
people
what
are
are
trying a
the
lot of
brands which
products.
are mostly used nowadays? Like you can't just narrow it down like that, no?
There are few now. We have this K by Katrina right now.
Mm-hmm.
People are using
Mm-hmm.
that.
I have a question for that later. Okay.
Okay, and Mac definitely people are using, and I would say people are not using much of Krylon, and I would suggest people using Krylon actually,
Okay.
because initially even we had the thought that Krylon was not up to. I mean, I shouldn't say up to the mark.
Mm.
Like people, when compared to Mac, people buying Krylon products are not that much.
Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
when you go into a Krylon store, you can find a variety of options that they give.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, we have got so addicted to this digital complexion foundation by
Krylon.
Krylon,
Okay.
which is so good actually.
Oh, okay.
Anybody who wants to use it personally for them, they can definitely try it, because it gives you a very natural texture, and sometimes it doesn't even look like you're wearing a foundation. So I think people should come a little bit away from having only Mac in their mind.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine.
I would say personally, I like Krylon better than Mac.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
because
Okay.
I feel Mac is a bit dense, and not
Okay.
everybody needs a dense foundation all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when actually for most of our models, we have used Krylon many times.
Okay. Okay. So I also have this doubt. Will you suggest the same products which you use on your makeup day? If I'm coming for your makeup and I'm asking you what products would you suggest me, will you suggest the same products which you use, or for me as a consumer you would suggest different products?
No,
Because see,
I would.
there you will be using 2 3 products mixed, right? So what will you suggest me if I come to the makeup?
So it depends on who it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a bridal person who is asking what foundation you have used,
Mm-hmm.
and if I have mixed two or three foundation, if we have done that, in that case, I will not tell them to use three or four foundations, because that is not necessary for them, because they are not going to be using it on a daily basis. In that case, I would suggest some other shade that suits them in a different brand, one particular foundation that they can use. That's
Okay,
how
okay.
we suggest.
Because they don't need to buy two
Yeah,
for one and
because
do the
that's not
mixing
going to be that useful for
for
them.
them. Yes.
For example, if it's going to be a model,
Mm.
in that case, we have suggested to try two or three shades in different brands, because for them it will be, I wouldn't say affordable. For them, it is necessary actually, because they'll be
Correct.
using it
Correct.
very often. So I think it will work for them. And it also, we also ask them how much you want to spend on buying a product. We generally ask that also
Okay,
to
so
our
if your
clients.
product is more expensive, there's no point in suggesting
Yeah,
to them.
when they don't want to spend that much on a product, we say, okay, then try for this brand. This will work out for you.
So, do you think that makeup artists should have a basic knowledge about skin and cosmetology in general? Because you just mentioned about SPF and Gobi's obsession with SPF. No?
Yeah. Cosmetology, I wouldn't say is
But
necessary.
what about basic knowledge of
Yeah,
skin and
definitely someone should have.
okay.
So, for example, if someone comes after a treatment or something, and if they say, no, this doesn't work for me, I am sensitive to this,
Mm,
you must know at least, okay, of what you can use or what you can't use on them, because it's really important, because uh, something damaging the skin, nobody would be
mm,
happy with it.
mm, mm.
So, I think you should have some base knowledge about it. And with respect to cosmetology, now I think people have to be a little aware, because there are a lot of people who are doing different peels and everything
Mm,
these days.
mm.
So,
We even had one model who had done peel, chemical peel, and come to the sale.
yeah, actually.
Mm.
So I think we used Krylon on her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm, mm.
So it was not that
So,
sensitive for
what
her.
is the concern when they do the peel and when they come to the set? Is it really difficult for you to work or?
No, no,
Mm,
the skin is a bit sensitive. So they'll be very, I mean, they'll be very concerned about what products you use and if the brushes are all clean and
mm,
everything,
mm, mm, mm. It's
because
the
if,
baby skin, I guess. It
yeah,
will be very
even a
sensitive.
very small thing could affect it in a very bad
Okay,
way for
okay.
anybody.
Either they
So
shouldn't come after the peel or you should be extremely
that's why we
careful.
suggest the brides not to do it in
Mm.
a very neck
Short span
moments.
of
Yeah,
time. Okay,
for
okay, okay.
models, but we can't tell that, because it's up to them, because they do it for different reasons and everything. So
Okay. So you're telling that makeup artists should always have a general knowledge about the
yeah, at
skin
least
and.
something basic. See,
Mm.
you need not go and study it separately, but at least a basic knowledge. When someone comes with that concern, you can even ask them on what they've done, why they've done it.
Mm.
Through that also you can learn.
Correct, correct. Okay, fine. Okay. So, do you see any difference when it comes to products? Do you see any difference in celebrity and those products versus traditional products like K Beauty and K Beauty by Katrina, Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez is
Selena,
there?
yeah.
Huh? So, what is the difference between this one and traditional makeup products like MAC and Krylon?
See, difference in the sense, it
So,
is
do you only think this is just the branding, or do you genuinely see the difference in the quality of the products which you use?
no, quality, there might be minute differences, but the formulation is going to be same for anything.
Hmm, hmm.
Be it traditional
I
products.
have one more big doubt. See, usually in startup world, you start something because you don't have that particular thing in the market.
Mhm.
Let's say you don't have an app for delivery, you just start an app for delivery so that you get hit. So why do you think these celebrities are starting a makeup brand? So do they feel that in this mix of a foundation, it is not there? So I'm going to be the person who's bringing it to the market
They
because
might
the
bring
traditional
in
brand doesn't have the.
see, they
Mm,
might bring in different shades of
mm,
foundations,
mm,
because that is actually a good question. So
mm,
when you see, for example, let's take Katrina. She's been working for a lot of years.
mm,
She would have faced multiple makeup artists.
mm.
She would have used different products. So
Both
if
international and.
yeah,
Mm,
so if she feels something is not there, if she wants to get it, and she thinks that's not available in India, she might have had an idea that, okay, let's bring it to India.
mm,
So
mm,
that's
mm.
how they would have started. And the major difference here is like face of the brand only, I would
Mhm,
say.
mhm, mhm.
So would you see any normal person like who is not so much into makeup? Would you see them getting a K or a Mac? They will definitely go for K,
Okay,
because they have
okay.
a face where they've seen a lot of time in the television and everything. So they have an extra trust in those brands,
Sure.
because it comes from a celebrity.
But do these brands live up to that expectation?
I have not faced anything negative with the brands so far. So
Any celebrity and those brand?
no, we haven't faced that much.
Okay,
So it was
okay.
all good only.
Okay, okay, okay. So what are your thoughts on collaboration as a makeup artist? This needs to be addressed.
Yes, this needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Collaboration, this has been for a
As a
very
makeup
long.
artist, from a makeup artist point of view.
See, I would want to know what people really think of collaborations, because are they taking it in a literal meaning, or if they have a different meaning when it comes to the industry? I don't understand that, because
At least when
collaboration.
it comes to Indian context and South Indian context in fashion and film industry, collaboration is something where you do your work for free in return to exposure or something. This is what I've known.
See, collaboration in general is something where
Mm,
anybody, if three different people are working, everybody is benefited out of it.
mm,
That is what we call collaboration in general, right? So now I feel like collaborations have come in a different. I mean, people are considering it different, because even though if I don't have anything benefited out of it, they want me to collaborate with them. Where I have a question like, why should I do it? because I have lot of works that's being posted in my page already.
Mm.
Okay, for example, if I'm working with some celebrity or something who's in a very big state, if I work with them and if they are going to give me some name out of it, it would be benefit I would be benefited out of it. So in that case, it will work. But I don't think everywhere this collaboration comes into a question. Like if they want to do some shoot, okay, they call a designer for collaboration, they call a makeup artist for collaboration, they call a photographer for collaboration.
Mm.
Okay, in the end, what are we going to do? It's just going to be a picture or a reel that we are going to be posting in it. Are we really benefited out of it? That is my question.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
end of the day, we do everything because we want to be paid as artists.
Yeah.
But is that really happening? I don't think it's happening at all.
Mhm. Mm.
And the other thing is, there's one more problem, like, where if you go for collaborations, you will not be able to work as in how you want to do it, because they have a different perception of what they want, and they will want you to do only that. So all
Yeah.
these problems are there. Like even we had a problem with collaboration initially, right? So it was a very big shoot that we planned. We had art direction and all
Yes. Yes.
doing.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have
I
spent.
know. Yeah.
We did
Mm.
so many things. And at the end, when we had to go and approach the artist, actually we have already worked with her, and she was the one who suggested that she wanted to do a shoot. So we planned something, and on the day of dress trial or something, when myself and Gopi went there was no respect at all. So I feel in this tradition of collaboration, I think the respect to artists are very less when compared to the paid shoots or anything that you're doing.
Oh.
So when there is nothing you get out of it, so you don't have respect, you don't have money, and you don't have any other benefit out of it, then what's the point in doing collaborations?
Okay.
I think that, and one more shoot similar way we had, and then we stopped doing collaborations. We call anybody, we pay them, we do it. That's it, right?
Yeah. Mm.
So I think people should really understand what collaboration is and see how we are going to be benefited, or how they are going to be benefited because of us. Something has to happen when you do a collaboration. If not, then there's no point in doing it.
Okay. But my point of view from here is like, see, we have also had shoots which worked for us in a positive way because of collaboration. Okay, so we did this shoot for a really big brand. We did this shoot only because we did a small collaboration shoot before that. Later, we got few other paid projects from this brand. Okay, I don't think, but this always works for everyone because there are brands which are exploiting people in
Exactly.
the name of collaboration. They just want to shoot it for free and they'll be selling the product for lakhs of rupees. So this happens. Okay, as you said already, as a photographer, from my point of view, collaboration sometimes won't work because I can't able to work in my terms.
Exactly.
There are excellent models in our industry. Okay, if you see a model Sherina, she usually comes and she touches and prays the camera
Right.
and she'll go into the shoot.
That's right.
If you see Srisha, she on one particular shoot she was not eating anything because the dress was little revealing in her stomach and she doesn't want to get bloated at all. And in one another scenario, we had a shoot with Preeti where she was right here in
Yeah.
that
That was freezing
freezing because,
actually.
but we couldn't turn off the AC also because the lights were heating up. So there are people who are getting so much dedicated, and all these shoots were paid shoots, and we were able to extract the best output from these shoots. But when it comes to certain collaboration shoots, there are people and celebrities who come late to the shoot, who come to the set and make everyone wait and sit, literally talk
Yeah.
on call.
They'll be on call even when they're being shot there.
Yeah. So yeah, it works both ways for me, but personally to say it has been 70-30, where 70% all collaborations have worked peacefully, but there are instances where the outputs are not in the direction in which we want.
There's one more thing I want to add
Hmm.
to it actually. When it comes to collaboration, there are people who think that we are not dedicated, we'll work properly.
Hmm.
They even judge on how we'll be working. Since it's a collaboration, I don't think they'll
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
putting so much effort on it. But in our case, we are not like that. So I think that's where my idea of saying no to collaboration came, because we have been putting so much of effort on on a shoot, and when people think, okay, it's just a collaboration shoot, they might not be doing anything. So even if
It
we are
actually
good,
depends on person. I don't think
yeah,
everyone is
I'm
thinking
not
that.
saying
Hmm.
everyone, but I am saying that I would avoid the situation, saying that I mean calling a person for a collaboration,
See,
because
we as a team have decided only if it's benefiting our team entirely,
exactly.
we will go ahead with that. If it's benefiting some other person or an institution in a monetary way and we we if we feel like we're being used, we won't do that.
I wouldn't say nobody try collaboration. I'm not saying that. I am saying based on our personal experiences that we have stopped doing collaborations, and we do collaborations. As you said, if it's going to be benefited for
But if
everybody,
it's but if it's a person who's starting just now, there's no other go
yeah,
than
there's no
collaborating.
other go. But I would say you should also learn to say no in this
Yes, yes,
industry,
yeah.
actually, because
That is very important.
that is very important, right?
Mm.
Because every time when we think we are beginners, we are not much seen, we don't have that many followers, we give so many answers to that.
You know, one wrong aspect with Indians and Indian creative people, they think less of themselves than actually what they are,
Yes, that's true, actually.
and they quote less amount that than what they should be actually getting paid.
Because
Especially with this artist and photographer, stylist, makeup artist, I
now,
feel so.
yeah, that's
Mm.
true, but now I don't think people have option, because
Mm.
initially when I want to have a makeup artist for my wedding, not for my wedding, but even
Mm.
before that, if somebody is looking for a makeup artist, there will be limited options for them. But when if now if I am not there, there are 100 many people to do it. So generally there is this tendency now to reduce the cost, because stating that if I keep quoting this much, I will not even be in the business itself.
Mm.
When that comes into question, people are like, okay, let me work for less money. But the problem is, I would say we have also faced this, because initially when we began for doing bridals and all, we quoted very less. But that even in then, when you quote very less money, they judge your work, they
Mm.
don't think
Mm.
you will
Mm.
do a better job.
So there's always this dilemma where you
Yeah,
quote
there's
less
always
money,
this.
they'll judge your work. When you quote more, they won't
Yeah,
come for
they'll
you.
say you're not affordable.
Yes, yes, yeah.
It's like you have to come to a point. See, I wouldn't say that everybody should be affordable to pay 30K for a wedding
Mm.
makeup and all.
Mm.
But if you have some concerns, genuinely approaching somebody and genuinely telling that we've also reduced cost in many bridal places where we thought that the request was genuine.
Mm.
They actually wanted us to do. We were not affordable to them. They said, would you be able to do some work around so that both of us can benefit it? When somebody comes and approach you, you naturally will reduce the cost. But now people are doing it for a very less cost, and when someone comes and asks me, I say, no, I charge this much for a bridesmaid, or this much for. Why are you charging this much? This person is able to do it for 2,000. I am not even able to answer these persons
Mm.
right now. So,
You can't make people understand that this is what I've learned. This is not the one thing which I am doing. So there are clients who have asked me, it's just like 10 photos, no? Why are you
yeah,
charging this much? But to take these 10 photos, I had to have like 5 to 7 years of experience, and I have to know where to do set the light and
true
what to
that.
do the thing to produce this 10 high quality output photos. So they always assume that it's just 10 photos. Don't see the results.
I would say
Mm.
this would uh, get us back to that question where
Mm.
you asked us if what do you think about people learning through online.
Mm.
So
Mm.
if
Mm.
somebody is going to learn online,
Mm.
say, they wouldn't have paid that much money as in a physical class. They would
Mm.
have paid only less. They would have built their vanity in a very nominal manner or something.
Mm.
So for them, doing a bridal for 7,000, 8,000 is not going to be a very big thing, because what their mindset will be is like, I have a face to train myself now. That's how they might see it, right?
Okay.
So in that
So
case,
you're going out in real life and finding faces.
see, for
Mm.
them, charging very less wouldn't be a problem. Whereas, think about us. We have gone. We are in Chennai. We have gone to Mumbai. We have spent so much to learn. We
Mm.
have come back. We have put a off. We have put a place to work, and we are doing multiple shoots where we can learn with different faces. And when I go and say I will do 2,000 rupees bradal makeup, do you think that person will respect me first?
No.
No, there will
Mm.
be no respect. They
Mm.
they
Mm.
wouldn't trust your work in that case. So you should know what you are and how much you
I
should
think we
charge.
should be able to show people the value of our talent and value of our skill set. Then people will be ready to pay for that. If they are not ready to pay for that, they are not the people for us. We have to skip.
Yes,
That is the rule of sale also.
that's how we should begin
Mm.
saying no, because we have told
There will
no.
be one interesting phenomenon where people will ask, "Can you sell a fan to an Eskimo?"
Exactly.
There's no need to sell a fan to an Eskimo. He
True.
shouldn't be having a fan, first of all. If you are selling a fan to an Eskimo, I think you are the fool here. So I don't think you should do that. So when you tell about this thing, no, where you tell people are learning makeup from online. So when do you think a makeup artist is ready to teach? When do you think a makeup artist is ready to have their own institute? A lot of people, they are going to Mumbai or Delhi, they learn makeup, they come to Chennai and they start makeup right, academy right away. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that?
See, I would say first you should have a passion to teach people.
Mm.
I would say that is the main thing. Not you can't begin an institute because you think that will have a booming business. You can earn well. That not because of
Just
the
because you're getting money, I don't
no.
think you
I
should
don't
start.
think that's it because
Mm.
how we treat teaching when you take a school or college, how you respect teaching there, that's how
Mm-hmm.
teaching has to be in any profession.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a passion for teaching, only then you please teach people, or else you don't teach people. And I would say just see if even us after learning from the academy, we can't right away come and start a institute here saying that we have learned for 1.5 months, we have already put to so many faces. You can't say that because you have not worked with practical people. I mean, in a day to day life, you have not worked
Mm.
with many people. So I would say your experience matters, your passion to teaching matters,
So
and
teaching people is one thing, and just putting makeup to other person is one
yeah,
thing. No,
it is
yeah.
one thing because
Mm.
people will have a lot of questions and you must be able to answer them.
Only
So
when you know. See, usually teaching, when it comes to teaching, no, only when you know the 100% of that skill set, you will be able to answer all the questions.
exactly. So you must have upgraded yourself. So if you're working for 15 years, you should have upgraded yourself. You should have attended different people's workshops, I would say.
Mm.
There were a lot of people who asked myself and Gobi, why don't you guys teach? But we have not said yes to anybody because we still think that
You have learned things to learn.
yeah, we everybody has things to learn, but we still think that there is some more time for us to get into that.
Right.
So you must know because you are gaining somebody's trust where they are keeping you in a position where this is the point where they decide their career is going to happen. So you
Mm.
can't take it so lightly, right? So and there must be, and I've seen there are a lot of people teaching now in Chennai. I would say that anybody who is into teaching, they should stop taking a lot of people into their classes
Mm-hmm.
because that is becoming very
You always
hard.
advise this one thing. The batch should be
Yeah,
very limited now.
it's because
Mm.
now you see every street will have a makeup artist.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Mm.
See, industry booming is different, but you have a lot of competitors alongside. And see, we don't have a particular rule for all these payments that we get and all. So, if, for example, if somebody is learning 2 days makeup and they're coming for a makeup, and I mean for a bridal, somebody's learning for 10 days and coming, somebody's learning for 1.5 months and coming. But on the whole, they will have a comment on makeup artists. They will not know who has learned for this many days, who has learned for a longer time.
Mm.
In general, they will say no, makeup artists are charging too much. They will either say that, and they're not working properly. So I don't think you're supposed to put your profession into something commentable like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
we are, when we go into a teaching profession, we are responsible for it. So I
Okay.
would say considering they have to consider a lot of points when they start teaching. So definitely if somebody wants to teach, they should be experienced in a big manner.
And they should know the craft very well.
Exactly,
Mm.
I would say
Okay. Okay. Fine.
there are people who
Mm.
who who work that if I have 10 students in my batch, so when they go out, they must be put into a position where they can earn in at least 3 to 6 months of span. So that goal must be there for any teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so how you put knowledge into them is how confident they'll be
And how this
when they,
knowledge is applicable in real world is also
yeah, that's
important.
there.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. So, what do you suggest to a 20-year-old who want to get into makeup right now? So, this guy or girl has just finished their college and they want to get have makeup as their career. So, what do you suggest to them?
Okay, so if you are into makeup just because social media or trend, then
Okay.
you should decide if you really want to do it because
Okay.
now
Okay.
we have a lot of places where, I mean, all
Let's
these.
say they are really passionate about makeup, not because of seeing social media. They are really passionate about makeup. What would you tell them?
Okay, I would definitely ask them to find a good place where they can learn, be it
So, you're
India
telling
or
you
abroad or anywhere.
definitely do a professional course. So, your suggestion would be doing a professional course rather than assisting.
Yeah, initially you must learn before you assist because
Okay.
why
Mm.
I am saying is like, so if I don't know anything about makeup, if I go and assist somebody and he's asking me for a product, I wouldn't know what he's asking for.
Mm. Mm.
In that way, I will not be able to learn on what he is doing.
And you'll
Only,
also not know why he's asking that particular
yeah.
product. Okay.
And if he says, okay, this has gone wrong, you will not be able to channelize on why it has gone
Same
wrong,
thing.
what can be done, and you will not have no learning curve there. So I would say study something, and then only you have to assist somebody.
Mm.
So like when you learn something, putting into it into a practical knowledge, it's very much important. So for
Mm.
us, let's say we learned in BHA 1.5 months. If we had assisted somebody here for a 6 months of span, that would have been a different experience. Since we wanted a place for ourselves, we built the studio, we all started working together, it was a different learning phase. So I would say it depends on the person. Certain people do not want to be under somebody, not everybody will like it. So if you are okay to assist somebody, so definitely you can do that. So
Mm. Mm.
initially, for anybody to begin into a makeup industry, I would say look for a place where
Professional
you
institute.
can learn
Mm.
all genres of makeup and decide on which you want to go, and also choose a person where you can assist, or just build a place for yourself. That's what I
Okay.
would say.
So are there any age restrictions for this? Because I've known certain people. I known a sister, my friend's sister, she is 16 to 18 years old. She wants to get into makeup. Do you think we should not get into makeup that soon?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Mm.
For example, there is a small boy called Max. I am not sure you know about him.
Mm-hmm.
He has become a fashion designer at the age of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now he has a Guinness record, and now he has done a fashion work, and he has met all the big fashion designers everywhere,
Okay. Okay.
and it has started in the age of 4.
Mm.
You will not know. I mean, you can't deny somebody who's that passionate, right?
Okay. Okay.
So if they are really passionate about it, and if you think putting some knowledge into them will work, I don't think age should be a defining bar for it.
So glad we had this conversation. I think we cleared a lot of doubts for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Actually, we have been working together for more years. I don't
Mm.
think we have had this much of conversation
Yes,
earlier.
yeah,
Like,
especially in particularly in makeup.
yeah,
So I always had these doubts in makeup. I wanted to clear it up. So right when this podcast is happening, I wanted to clear it up one by one. So I kept on asking, and I'm so glad we were
yeah.
able to
Even
answer
I'm
all
glad that
this.
I'm able to talk this much about
Okay,
what
so
really matters to us.
okay, fine. Thank you so much for coming to the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind. It was really nice.